right, Bill won't be able to be here.
I also highly recommend Claude. Claude
You're good.
is,
Okay.
so
That's
each
right.
they're all the different AIs, they have different points that are great for different things.
Different things they're good at.
Okay.
So Claude is,
I am
like
such a
Claude.
Yeah.
novice when it
Yeah,
comes to
I
that
use
stuff, I
both.
don't have a clue.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
Let's call the May 13th special meeting of the Millwood Planning Commission to order. Let's take roll call. Commissioner Carino, Commissioner Beasy,
Here.
Commissioner Molitor,
Here,
Commissioner Rickard, please note absent, and Commissioner Ankeny is here. So we do have a quorum, we can conduct business. So, and I think Bill is an excused absence. I think he told us last time he would
Yep.
not be here.
He's
Okay.
out of town.
Out of town. So, perfect, okay. So the first thing is let's get the approval of the meeting agenda. I think it looks great. I think it's manageable to do it in an hour and a half, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, perfect,
Aye.
cool. Right up to bat, let's go to action items, periodic update. Amanda.
Alright, so we only had the few little corrections from the April 29th meeting, those were incorporated into the code and referenced on the review tracker. And courtesy of Commissioner Beasy and Commissioner Rickard, we got the language updated on the new IEBC reference for the historic buildings. So that's all
Can you
correct.
just real quickly reference a page?
Oh, sorry, packet page 13.
Thank you.
There was a thing I was trying to find or remember at the end of the last meeting. It's
Yes.
actually page 10 of our packet.
So in the review tracker?
Right,
Okay.
where it's referenced there.
Okay, which is the,
It says in UR1, UR2, and UR3 under cottage housing. And it says critical areas and their buffers, including steep slopes, shall not qualify as common open space. But most of Millwood is critical areas because of the
critical farm.
recharge, so I'm wondering
Yeah.
about the language.
Let me, I'll make a note about the whole, Kara on that, so add Kara exclusion. And that is, straight from state law, but, we even exclude Kara from our critical areas map. We just have a general comment, this is the entire city, so add Kara exclusion. Okay,
okay. You good with that?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect, okay.
So page 13, you were, we'll let Amanda finish typing her writing.
yeah. So yes, our changes from the last meeting are reflected on packet page 13 with the 30-foot added into the chart that we had on page 11 from a previous meeting, just so I didn't have to re-include the whole chart.
Yep, oh, cool.
And that was it from the last meeting. And this new meeting has added in now Title 16 subdivisions.
All right. Well, we'll go to Amanda again.
All right. So, I will summarize. Title 16 was a heavy lift. A lot of it was because we had references all the way back to 1954, I believe it was, all the way up to like 2022. A lot of the sections didn't play nice together. So as part of the streamlining of the code, I went through and corrected that. I incorporated in all the RCW's language for the new types of land divisions, administrative lot splits, unit lot subdivisions, and then any refinements to the other types. As we discussed, I also removed any processing requirements from here and put them into Title 14 that you'll see at the next meeting. And then removed any duplicative or incorrect language in here in order to simplify and make it more readable. So that is what I did overall, and now I will open it up for any questions on the section.
On the whole section?
on the whole section,
I do have one question.
or
and
title, the
this-
whole title.
This is just a question. It's on the next page, on page 15.
Yes,
Territorial limits of regulations, it says apply within the corporate limits of the city of Millwood. Is that how we define the exact city limits of
city
Millwood?
boundary, yeah.
City boundary?
Yeah.
It's referred to as corporate limits,
Mhm.
okay.
It's in, we're incorporated.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the clarification, all right.
So on page 14, and actually this shows up again a couple other times under purpose,
Okay.
number F, or letter F. It makes reference in all other relevant factors, including sidewalks and other planning features that assure safe walking conditions for students who walk to and from school. It seems to me any pedestrian should be assured
The reason
safe.
it's worded that one, I can add language, but that specific language came right out of the RCWs.
Yeah, I figured it did. It seems to me we should call out anybody walking. You can't say, oh, we're on the corner,
Okay.
so nobody's walking to school on this, so we don't have to be
That makes sense.
safe or whatever. I mean, we're trying,
Basically describe other public requirements,
Yeah.
you know,
So,
other,
and all other
you-
including
you-
sidewalks and other plans ensure safe walking conditions for students who walk to and from school.
other pedestrians.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do other pedestrians. Comma, and any other public requirements.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like I said, that will show up a couple other times in here, that same language.
Pedestrians. Awesome.
did you notice anything else, or Commissioner Karina?
Nope,
Okay.
not on this page.
So, on page,
Come on, it can't be that easy.
page 22, oh, we're
Okay,
just
okay,
getting
okay.
started.
I was gonna go,
We got
meeting adjourned.
some tags here.
Okay, we're on page 22.
I, down at the bottom of the page.
Okay,
This is just a little picky. Vertical scale of street and sewer profiles shown shall be of 10 feet of less, maybe it should be or
Oh.
less.
Typo. Okay, so the vertical scale of street and sewer profiles shown shall be at a scale, I think. Shall be at 10 feet or less to the, or less to the inch.
Yeah, it says the scale shall be,
Right.
yeah,
Or.
yeah.
Okay.
well, that's what it says.
Says of on mine.
It says of,
Okay, hold on, so I'm reading this again.
at 10 feet,
To the property being subdivided, the vertical scale of street and water sewer property shall be at 10 feet
or.
or less.
Yeah.
Okay, right, okay, thank you. I had to read that a couple ways.
Okay.
And another little picky on page 31,
31.
the B.
Okay.
It looks to me, the RCW, including through notice posted on the closest public sidewalk or roadway, it looks to me like there's a period in mine there.
Oh, there sure is. Going through notice posted on, you know what, I caught that when I brought it over to Title 14, but I think I already changed it in there, but I was gonna note it,
Got it
yeah.
Printed first,
Okay, so, page 31.
Catch those, Bobby. Good for you.
I don't catch all of them. I know I don't, because other people catch different ones that I don't catch.
Now I just lost it in here, where'd it go?
B,
B,
end of B.
And also,
Right there.
would that be in D as well?
do you have one,
That
Tim?
might be a comma.
Yeah, that's-
Two per-
yeah.
That one's a comma.
Okay.
It's just hard to see with the underline. 11B. B, remove. Yeah, I think I already removed that, but we had already printed the packet.
So then page 34, K, this is partly a question.
Okay.
The newly created lot must meet any local adopted minimum density requirements, or would it be maximum density?
For us, it's maximum, the state says minimum. So can I change that? I wonder if I could take the word minimum out.
Yeah, minimum doesn't seem to, how about,
Minimum
just
is what the state language is, but I wonder if I can take out minimum because it does not apply to us.
locally adopted density requirements
Yeah.
would cover it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, let me, see if I can take that out, just the word minimum.
Yeah. And then just kind of a general questions on some of this. What we're looking at, so this whole section, administrative lot splits,
Yes.
sounds like there's limited, if any, chances for appeal? Is that what I'm reading in here?
What page?
So administrative lot splits
It's kind of,
are going to be a type 1 project permit.
Oh, okay.
Type 1 project permits are director decision that would be an administrative appeal to the city council.
so M, adopted to combine, are not subject to administrative.
Oh,
or
that's
judicial
SEPA.
Appeal.
Okay,
What I'm looking at.
Okay, page 34.
yeah, sorry, page 34.
Okay.
That's straight from state law. What that means is, if for some reason, so we do a non-project SEPA on, this.
Mm-hmm.
If for some reason somebody appealed our SEPA,
Mm-hmm.
they cannot appeal that provision. They cannot appeal the administrative. There's a lot of that for the residential requirements. I'm wondering if it's more confusing to include that in there though. I might not need M. Because it's already in state law, and once this is adopted and we complete the non-project SEPA portion, that's it, it's done.
Oh,
So I may not need it. Let me
Yeah.
see if I can remove it.
I mean, reading through that, it just feels like,
Yeah.
wow, I have no rights here at all.
Yeah, and it's not what it's meant to be.
Yeah, if it's just specifically to
Yeah.
this process, then
Yeah.
yeah, it would be.
It's only, when this is reviewed. Okay. Remove section M. Question mark. Okay.
And then just kind of in general, on page 32, we have some drawings
Two, okay.
and the situation of alleys, it sounds like we're relying on alleys to be primary.
These are just examples is all they are. They were supplied, from Commerce. I presented them first in the presentation last December, I think it was. And that's all it is ULS examples. And so these first two had alleys for the example, the second two don't. And the reason, alleys are referenced is because on some things you don't need setbacks and stuff when you're on an alley. So they usually do examples with alleys. We have alleys obviously here, so that's why I went ahead and included them. Cause I thought it was more beneficial, but it's only if you have an alley. If you don't, it doesn't affect it.
What I'm wondering is we have some alleys, but
Mhm.
the city doesn't plow them, they don't maintain them.
And so.
If that's the only way to get to this newly built ADU or something or other, does the city suddenly become responsible for maintaining alleys?
So, in another part of the code, and I can't tell you exactly which part, but it's a section it was something that was added. And I know it was specifically addressing ADUs, but it talked about if, a city actually maintains the alley, and plows snow up, we can allow for setbacks, I believe it was. If we do not maintain it, we don't allow for setbacks on ADUs. And so there
Right.
was a little more language in there about that.
But that had to do with leaving room to pile snow. It didn't
Yeah.
have to do with making sure that that route is passable all times of the year, which is kind of a different question.
Yeah. I would say it doesn't change how it is, but let me look into that.
I'm just
Yeah.
wondering what the city's getting itself into here
Page 32.
that we need to do it with. Eyes open.
use
We're gonna do it.
Examples.
Good point.
Choose.
And then on 34, it talks about alleys in a way that doesn't make sense if we're,
Maintain. For access, okay. That's a question, okay. Okay, next one.
so page 34, under the definition of alley, it says providing vehicular and pedestrian access to the rear end or side of properties which abut and have access to a road.
Yes.
Under our new rules, they don't necessarily have to abut or have access to a road, is that correct?
That is correct. I'm just trying to think. You know, we might wanna change that to add in or a private driveway, just to cover all bases. Off the top of my head, I can't think of, well. The example I gave in the UR2, where the house was on the corner, it had the alley in the back, and it was proposed to be divided down the middle in order to have a small home on the rear parcel. That would still make it, the alley would be the side for that parcel, and the old parcel just wouldn't have alley access anymore.
But if the property next door to it decided they wanted an ADU that was accessed by the alley,
And
That
it
would be
wouldn't
the
have
ol-
any access, yeah,
except the alley.
except the alley. Okay,
Now, first of all, the state requires that we have to allow that.
no, we don't necessarily have to allow
Okay,
that.
well, we might wanna think about that then.
Well, if the way it's worded here, you couldn't do that. So it's only for properties that have access to a road. In that example right there, I would say they would have to do a shared driveway off that road to access, not from the alley. The alley's a secondary, not a primary. And maybe that's what we say. Alleys, we could even update it in the definition here. Alleys shall not be a primary means of access. They are only secondary access.
So I don't know what I actually want, I'm just trying
Okay.
to figure out what the
I guess
rules
that's
are
what-
and what we're saying here.
Yeah, that's what the question boils down to. So number one, the city doesn't maintain alleys, okay? So we probably don't want alleys to be a primary access to a lot. We only want it to be a secondary access. So in this definition, we could take care of your other concern by saying alleys shall only be a secondary access to parcels unless otherwise approved by the city or something like that.
It's confusing, isn't it?
Yeah,
And it's kind of, this is one of those design things where we can maybe put some pressure on just not allowing things everywhere.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
and the
know.
biggest thing is if the city does not maintain alleys, but they've been in existence forever, it's not like a private driveway where I write in and say, as part of the conditions, you shall maintain this driveway. We don't have that with the alleys. So that would probably be my recommendation, is to only allow secondary access from the from the alleys. And we can just add it to that definition.
So how would that read then,
Yeah.
Amanda?
that's my, how would that read?
Oh, and the other thing you gotta remember is, this is the subdivision standards. So,
This is
this would
new
be
stuff that-
creating a new division of lots, not just, so it does include the lot splits though. And so that's where adding this to the definition of alley would help with that.
Yes, that's true.
So alley means a strip of land up to 20 feet in width, dedicated and open to public use and providing vehicular and pedestrian access to the rear and or side of properties which abut and have access to a road. So I would say providing secondary vehicular and pedestrian access to the rear or side of properties, or the other way to word it is, after the period, alleys shall only provide secondary access to properties unless otherwise approved by the city.
I like
That,
number two.
okay.
You like that?
Yeah, that gives us some,
Yeah,
Some
more
more-
definition, I guess.
and some, I've been trying to remember, it's been so long since we've been plowed properly. I don't remember if the city plows the alley behind the corner door.
And if it
Or if
does, see, that would be
it's-
the otherwise approved by the city, because the city's already
Right.
maintaining the alley.
Or if it's the plow operator that does the Rocket Bakery parking lot and he does it. I know the one behind Masonic Lodge is done by the people that come and do the parking lot. They just do the whole thing, they wouldn't just leave the little alley out. And I've watched them.
Yeah.
So, and Lilac Lane is is paved and used pretty often up here behind, takes off from
Walgreens.
Walgreens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Behind those.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we plow that or not.
And that one we actually researched as part of the Bank of America piece, and I can't remember if it was actually classified as an alley or a local, do you remember?
It's
No, it'd been before
classified as
you.
an alley.
It is an alley, okay.
It's always, yeah, we've always
Yeah.
referred to it as an alley in meetings and stuff.
But what's interesting is because it has a name,
Yes.
that means something's addressed off it, because that's the only reason you give it a name.
Well, not necessarily.
Or usually that's the only reason.
Somebody liked it.
Yeah.
Around here, it could mean anything.
So.
We had a big brouhaha over that alley here, what, 5-6 years ago? Remember with that?
Maybe longer.
The out of country property owner and
Yes.
and,
Yes,
renter of the property was trying to take over the property.
yeah,
I don't think you were,
No, I don't remember that.
yeah, you
it's
weren't
where the
here yet.
duplexes are
Before my
built.
time.
It got rather tense.
Yeah.
I'll make a note to add that to other alley definitions if we have any anywhere to make sure it's consistent.
Yeah.
That was kind of interesting when they came in front of us, you know,
I bet it would be, yeah.
cause the guy that owned the property was out of the country. And the renter of the neighboring property was storing old junk vehicles on it. And he was trying to take it through eminent domain,
Oh,
and the property owner was trying to sell it because they built those duplexes, they built some houses on it.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good brouhaha.
I bet it would be.
Was, yeah, because they did not like each other especially.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Well, and the guy, the renter, they've had that stuff here for 30 years, so he just thought that he got it because of the fact that he'd been
Sure.
and stuff on it. He doesn't live there anymore either.
And we got a nice duplex out of it.
We did. We did. All right, are we ready to move on past page 34?
I've got a couple, just a
Okay.
clarification. Down under adequate public facilities, it says, administrator of the planning commission means the director of the Millwood Planning Department.
That was the
Confusing
previous
to me.
definition. I just relocated it because it was out of alphabetical order for some reason.
Okay,
And that's me.
okay.
Amanda is our administrator.
Yeah, I don't even remember what it was. If it's in green, just so you know, sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. But if it's in green, it means it's been picked up from another part of the section and moved.
Okay, that's
But if I
good to
change
know.
one word, it changes it to red.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, and like I said, it didn't always work, but in section, Title 16 and 14, it seems to be working.
And then the other question I had was, you eliminated, like, for the alley, 16.08.005.
Oh, yeah. This was the only definition section in the entire municipal code of the part I administer that had separate subsections for every definition. And it makes it a bugger if you have to add a definition in, so I took them all out.
I
And
just
it's
thought,
consistent with
Yeah.
the rest.
that makes sense. It just seems like if you're going to reference alley, it would be reference 16.08.005.1.
Yeah,
And then that would, then you would know exactly where you would go, but,
exactly. None of the other sections are all just alphabetical.
okay.
2009, was that Tom? Was
Yeah.
the planner then? Okay. I noticed there's a few things like that. They're a little bit different. I was like,
It was Tom. Tom had been here a long time, right?
Yeah, he had been here for a while, even, I remember
when
when
was
I
it?
wasn't even
2009.
on the commission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's,
I have a quick question, just backtracking a bit. So on page 16 at the top, so section D, where the division of land lots or tracts are classified for industrial or commercial use when the city and council has been removed. By removing that, does that change any of the processes of how this is, how the division and how this process goes by removing council?
So packet page 16?
Yes.
do you restate?
Oh, I see what you mean.
I-
Okay.
I was looking for the,
So
Packet
section D.
16.
yeah, I've got that, but I couldn't,
No.
I didn't know where.
So the reason I've removed any reference to council, except in alterations and vacations, cause that is what they do, is because, now it gave us flexibility to redo the permit types in Title 14 and not have any inconsistencies. So when we get to Title 14, I'll be asking you a question on one of them. I brought everything over. But there's a question on one of them stands out that doesn't make sense, and so can we move it to here? Well, by cleaning this up where everything's in 14, it allows us to do that kind of stuff. Or if the hearing examiner is mandated, the hearing examiner system's mandated, then we can update it, because some things may not go to council if that occurred.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so would that same reasoning also apply to page 14 of the packet, which is the very first paragraph there, and it's also crossed out such responsibilities to include the holding of hearings and recommendations to the city council, et cetera. Is that the same reasoning?
Same reason.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And it's also why I use the word land division, because we got a whole different methods of subdividing and all that now.
Anything else? Okay,
Don't think so.
so moving back up to page 34 and beyond.
Next.
And so, again, show my ignorance, because we, as a planning commission, have done a lot with Title 17.
Mhm.
But we haven't done a whole lot with these.
Mhm.
And, while we're referenced in here, we haven't actually had one.
No, and I don't know if you ever will. There's not big enough properties.
We had one.
It was, I
where
actually
the
discovered it.
Senior citizens
Yes.
went in.
I discovered that today, it was misfiled, so I copied it over. And I think it's cause his other property backed up to it. And so I'm like, that was done originally as a subdivision, and then he tried to sell it, and then finally gave up and did a conditional use permit to have it as multifamily, even though they weren't multifamily. Now they would just be considered duplexes, triplexes, or, senior type housing. But yeah, that is the only one I've seen, and except for way back. So,
Yeah.
the original plats of the city. And that's what, it almost was like, it was a little torture going through all this stuff with the subdivision side of it, because I'm like, I don't think Millwood's ever gonna see a subdivision.
The only one I can think is if something happens to the paper mill.
Yes.
And so I'm going through this, you know, like, why are we doing all this?
Yeah.
Well, it's, you know, if that were to happen,
Yeah.
we'd really want some rules to be,
You know what? Magnolia too. If somebody ever bought the property from them and decided we don't like anything they did here, we wanted, because we have almost 2 acres, so we could do up to 17 units. Well, 10 and above requires a subdivision, so if they wanted them all on individual lots, it would be a subdivision. So our couple parcels that are 2 acres could be subdivision if they wanted them all on individual lots, and whether it's a ULS or a standard subdivision, it would be a subdivision because it's 10 or more lots.
so here's part of my question. So I understand that the short subdivision is 9 or less.
Mhm.
Standard subdivision is 10 or more.
Mhm.
But then we get into other things like binding site plan, and there's some vocabulary here.
Yes.
And binding site plan is not in definitions, cause I looked.
Oh, okay.
What page
So-
are you on now, Bobby?
Page 41 has talks
So let
about
me
binding
answer the
site
first
plans.
part of the question. So, yes, you got it right, short subdivisions 9 or fewer, whether it's a standard short subdivision or a unit lot subdivision. Subdivision is 10 or more, again, it can be standard or it can be unit lot.
Okay, so what's the difference there between standard and unit lot?
Unit lot subdivisions are, the individual lots do not necessarily have to meet the setbacks and the lot coverage, but the whole parent does.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
the
okay.
ULS examples, where they could have
Yes.
the property line right around the
Mhm.
unit if they wanted to. But the whole thing is a whole, so all the outer ones would have to meet the side setbacks and stuff, and you'd have to overall meet the lot coverage.
in
So you have 0
perpetuity.
lot lines.
In perpetuity, yeah, and so we record things on the final and yada yada. And that's a new mechanism in the state in order to allow flexibility for housing types. Which actually makes a lot of sense. And I did talk with the Valley for the building side of it, and there is a provision, I wrote it in, that question came up, well, what happens because if you have the property line right around the unit and you have another unit with, right next to it essentially, well, that doesn't meet building code requirements. Per the law, we could incorporate in, it has to. So they can do that, but they'd have to meet the firewall requirements and stuff. So that's already in there. The second question on the binding site plan, okay, in short, the code was a mess. It referenced in several sections a binding site plan. I know what a binding site plan is. I'm guessing it's what they did Albertsons with, because all the ones we had in Liberty Lake were BSPs. I could be wrong, but I'm guessing that's what it was. Will you probably have a new binding site plan in Millwood? Probably not. They're bigger, more commercial projects, or a mobile home park, which we don't allow anymore. So all I did was go through and clean up where it said BSP. I gave a little more context to it, and then I added a section for BSP that references state law. I made it about as simple as we possibly could.
And this is why it says for industrial or commercial divisions.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it's under the exemptions, those are the exemptions straight out of law. And that's where I caught it, that it's referenced in there, and then it was referenced in a few other sections, but there was no, state law says you have to have standards for a BSP if you're gonna allow them. We had no standards. And so I'm like, So now we do, and minimal as I could get, but we have some.
Trying to remember if the Albertsons things, if we even had a planner at the time. It's right on the edge of when we got our first planner.
It would have been back in the, what, early 90s?
Yeah,
Heather Cannon, let's see.
there
let
was
me
a
think
guy
here.
before her.
Oh, there was somebody before Heather. Okay, then I don't know.
He wasn't here a long time.
Okay.
But, he was here when I first got him, but when we had our visioning meetings and all of that stuff.
If I,
He's the guy behind the whole city portrait that we took. Have you not seen the
Huh.
portrait where, I mean, it was supposed to be everybody in town.
Oh.
It wasn't, but there was a lot of important people in town on the paper mill.
yeah,
With photographer on a tall ladder taking a picture of the town, basically. He was behind that.
when I reviewed Starbucks, I could be off, but if my memory says it was Spokane County that did that BSP. I think it was signed by the county.
But it wasn't in the county, it was in.
No, but we would have had all our processing done by the county if you didn't have a planner. Because your clerk, Christina's mom, I
Yeah.
think that's who it was. I saw a lot of stuff with Eva's name on it, but
Yeah,
I don't remember any land divisions with her name on it. So I
Yeah.
think it might have been done by the county.
yeah, it would have been, when we bought the corner door building. We went through Eva, but it was, all went to the county.
Yeah. So, long story short, the code referenced it, and because the code already
had
referenced it,
standards.
huh?
They had standards probably.
They did, yeah. And that's probably why it fell through the cracks. And so I'm like, well, we gotta get that cleaned up, so I cleaned it.
Okay, interesting.
And part of the reason I cleaned it up too is nothing says that they won't do another record of survey over there or want to do another record of survey to add another lot or something. I don't know if they can, but in case they did, now we have a standard to follow.
We got rules to follow, yeah. Page 43, D. I think that a notice of public hearing may also is issued concurrently. You had that
Oh.
one,
Yes,
Mark?
I did
Yeah.
that one too.
Yes, and I actually was gonna talk to you guys about this. Now that I've gone through, or I'm almost done with Title 14, honestly, this whole general procedures section, or for the most part, is duplicative of 14. Can I have your permission to cut this down even more, and that's one of the ones I would cut, and just reference Title 14? Because the reason I have concerns about the duplication is, for whatever reason, the state says notice of applications now have to be 15 days, not 14 to 30, has to be 15. Well, now I've got two different titles I have to go through and address, and I wouldn't honestly think to look at subdivision without doing a word search.
Well, I'm a firm believer in not duplicating, so.
Yeah, I didn't wanna tear this apart so much that you couldn't even recognize it, but and the same reason I didn't think we would ever really deal with preliminary plats. But preliminary plat was the only section that had individual subsections like this, instead of how it was with short plat and stuff. And so I did update it, and yes, we can correct that typo, but if I get the okay, I will actually go back through 1612-020 and try and abbreviate it even more to reference Title 14,
So preliminary plat is what?
the 10 or more.
Okay, so it's a standard subdivision.
Yes,
It's the plat.
yeah, it's the map representation of it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna hear interchangeable terms in this. Preliminary plat and subdivision, same thing. Final plat is the final map of the subdivision or the preliminary plat. Short subdivision is a short plat, and then you have the final short plat map.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about getting me taking one more crack at that section to abbreviate it more?
I'm
This-
all in favor of abbreviating it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm all in favor.
And there's a good chance, say that it'll never be used and
Yeah,
it will
and
be.
just in case, what was your typo, so I can make a note of it?
D,
Yeah,
public hearing may also is used concurrently, so it was like two sentences. Somehow
oh,
got
a
stuck
notice of
together.
public hearing
May
may also be issued. B, okay. So 43, this section, 2. Yeah, 1612.020.
So, now I've got a question with that. Okay, so a notice of public hearing may also be issued. Does that mean it may not also be issued?
Correct. So if,
So it should be may or
Yeah.
may not.
and I reference it in Title 14, and I'm gonna give you the example. Very, very, very rarely in Liberty Lake did I ever do a concurrent NOA, NOH. It's been done pretty consistently in Millwood. The reason I didn't in Liberty Lake is because there was extensive conditions of approval to go through. And we required technical review meetings. They were required, not optional like we're gonna have here. So clear back at notice of application, if I reached out to the hearing examiner and said, hey, we need to schedule up a notice of public hearing, I would have had to put it clear at the end of the allowed time frame, just to make sure I had enough time in between. Alternatively, I did them separate, and then we could maybe make it a little tighter time frame. Here, if I do consolidate them due to lack of resources, I'll have to do the same thing. That's why it's nice to have the discretion, because it's not required to consolidate them. But I do whenever I can, because it's basically a duplicative process if you separate them. So.
Does it cost the developer more if they're separate?
So I've already corrected this in Title 14. Other than the legislative side where you sometimes have to publish notice, I got rid of publications because right now, right out of the gate, you're looking at about $500 to do a publication. And if it's the city that has to pick it up or the developer. So if they are not required by the state, I took it out and made it like an optional thing. It is not the primary way of notice anymore. I've updated that to be site postings, property owner mailings for the 250 boundary, and then, when possible, posting on the website and emailing to the public notice group. I would have put those as required, but, if we had problems with the website or something out of our control and you couldn't meet it, so that's why it's when possible.
What about our, board?
And the public notice boards. So 1 and 2 is site-specific posting and public notice boards. Those are the mandatory for everything, as long as it's a site-specific.
So even if it's not required to be published, it will go on those, it's required to be on the notice board.
Required to be, yeah, everything goes on the notice
Not
boards.
that many people take the Spokane Valley Herald anymore anyway.
No. And we do the spokesman review, so it's even more expensive.
Do we now?
Is the Valley Herald in business still?
Are they?
Well, they were a few months ago.
I don't know when the city switched to the spokesman, but it's been the spokesman as long as I've been here, and I
Okay.
think it was not too long before I came that
I
the switch
think
occurred.
because it used to be, yeah.
Yeah,
It was
and
like,
it is
who gets that other than the corridor?
very expensive. And almost, I mean, really, you can't even read them, you know, so, yeah, so I pulled that.
Okay, as long as we have it in there to be using the other ways,
Yes.
because I think it's important, really important to let people know.
I think you'll really like when you see Title 14. I have changed up all this wording into tables. So if you are this permit type, boom, 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 boom. This is what you do. You're this permit type, here's your notices, boom, boom, boom. So it makes it a
That
whole
makes
lot more
sense.
usable.
Yeah. I might even be able to figure that out.
Yeah.
Well, and, part of the reason for that is that if we miss a project permit processing deadline and we don't have some of these things in place, we basically in the final resolution, we have to document all the measures we've taken. And as long as I can get us to over 3 measures, we don't have to deal with fee refunds. So if we miss a deadline and we don't have all these efficiencies in place, we have to refund a certain amount of the fees, and it can be fairly substantial, especially for a city like Millwood. And so I wanted to do everything in our power to avoid that.
Also on page 43, what is now section A.
Okay.
Where the first sentence, the subdivider, it was removed, his land
Yeah.
surveyor or his agent. And it continues on. So with that language, because it removes those pronouns, when I look at page 46 under preparation and copies,
Mm-hmm.
and it says, shall be prepared by the developer or their land surveyor. So in that section on 43 in section A, it's used to reference.
So there, should be there on 43.
Okay, because I was wondering if it's no longer that, it's their land surveyor, it's just a land surveyor, or what is
No,
that language?
it'd be theirs,
Okay,
yeah, so.
Okay.
Page 43. C notes. Okay. That was a good catch. Okay.
Page 46, I. This is just a repeat of one of the others that, that vertical scale of street and sewer shall be 10 feet or less to the inch.
Oh, is that the same thing?
Yeah.
It did it again.
Instead of, well, yeah, I'm sure it was cut and
Yeah,
paste or
that's exactly,
so.
so. Six. Of, to, or. Okay.
Cool.
We're gonna make it through.
Don't.
I know. Still at 45 minutes, I hope we're gonna make it through.
Keep moving forward.
on page 47, under approval or rejection at the bottom of the page, section A, by changing the phrasing to a planning commission to hearing body, does that alter any of the procedure, or what's the reasoning behind?
It allows us to refer back to Title 14.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
While we're on this section, since we're in preliminary plat, ponder this, because I have it highlighted in Title 14. One of the streamlining mechanisms that we can use is only, and I didn't think you wanted to do it, but I wanted to bring it up, is only having public hearings for those items required by mandate to have public hearings for. So zone change and then anything legislative. Okay, got that. So type 5 for zone changes. Development agreements and preliminary plats. Variances and conditional use permits are not listed as having to have public hearings. I'm not thinking you wanna do it, but I wanted to bring it up now so I can take the highlights off before I finalize it.
Do we have any legal exposure if we don't provide that?
No, as long as I have other, at least 3 other efficiencies, which I do.
So you have a hearing examiner hearing variances.
Right now we
Hearing
do.
Examiners in Millwood hear variances.
Yes.
And not allow the public to come and,
You wouldn't even have a hearing examiner hearing it, it would go to me. I don't think you wanted to do it, but I wanted to bring it up because it was one of the things that's in the local project review guide as an option. But I figured if you didn't want to go to the hearing examiner system, you really didn't want to do that.
knowing Millwood, as I think I know Millwood,
Mhm.
people like to be heard. They
Yeah.
like to have the option to say something, even if they get decided against.
And they want to say it in a hearing format instead of just in a written format.
I don't know, would it switch to something like SEPA where you have an open time for people to make comments?
So the way it works, is, and I'll use, type 2. It has a type 2 permit, which is basically like a construction permit with SEPA or something like that, okay? Big building or something. That has a notice of application for 14 to 30 days, depending on what it is. Usually it's 14. At the conclusion of that, if I have to do a SEPA threshold determination, I would do it at the same time as the notice of decision, and then you issue the decision, and if there's a permit involved, then you issue the permit. There is no public hearing on them. Right now on type 3, 4, and 5, there is a public hearing. So you still have notice of application, but then you also have a public hearing after that. So essentially, when you have the public hearing in there, you have 2 opportunities, one written and the other written or in person, either one. When you remove the public hearing part, so if a conditional use permit, for example, did not have the public hearing, then it would just be the notice of application and no hearing, and then it would go to decision, which then could be appealed.
Almost feel like that's above our pay grade.
That's why we have Amanda.
Well, I was thinking
Well, it's-
city
and-
council.
And so my thought is, okay, so 10 years down the road and Amanda's gone.
Yes, that's something to consider very seriously.
I said, I'm not making a recommendation on it, I just wanted to bring it up as an option.
And we might think of that down the road. I'm not sure we wanna make that
Okay,
drastic a change.
Let's revisit that.
okay, sounds good.
Moving forward.
All right.
I've got a question on page 54.
Yes.
The subdivider shall pay to the city of Millwood and or applicable utility provider, and then it's scratched out $250 per lot deposit, but there's no amount in there. And on page 43, we have the subdivider, or excuse me, on B, the applicant shall make written application in accordance with section 16, pay the city an application processing fee as established by the city council. But that, should we add that to this subdivider as established by the city council, so that
Good.
there's something in there?
Because what I'm trying to do is refer everything back to the fee resolution. So the subdivider shall pay the city of Millwood and or applicable utility provider a per lot deposit.
As
Oh, and or applicable utility provider, that's why I didn't. That's why I didn't, because it's not the city council that is, if, we don't really have that issue here, but, if, this is an if we ever were to annex North or something, and it was a different utility provider, then we couldn't, control that fee. Secondarily, Avista charges electric and gas deposits for subdivisions. We don't control that fee. That's why I didn't have it in there.
Okay, but I guess if it says as established by the city council, that would give them the opportunity or whatever to make that decision.
I could say as established by the city council as applicable, but that's why I didn't put it in there, is because of the utility provider.
And they have that ability to set it, it's just.
And they do, it's in the fee
It's in
schedule.
14 or something?
It's in the adopted fee schedule,
Okay.
which is a resolution that the council does.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And I can even say per adopted fee schedules, cause I think Avista has an adopted fee schedule even.
And probably Orchard Avenue
Yeah.
Water District has one too.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, just, I think would clarify it, 'cause
Okay.
right now it
A
just,
per lot deposit, okay, so subdivider shall pay to the city of Millwood and or applicable utility provider a per lot deposit based on adopted fee schedules. I can do that in parentheses for da 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 da. Or in accordance, there we go, in accordance with adopted fee schedules. Okay. Okay,
On page 52, under section 16.16.020, notice of method, the subdivider shall give written notice of the method he, she elects. Do we wanna have the pronoun or the
they,
yes, be
Yeah.
consistent with, okay.
Absolutely.
it should be they
Good catch, yeah.
elect.
you're good
Man,
at
I
that.
even did a search for
Good at that,
he
correct
and
that.
she, but it didn't catch that one.
Yeah. That's why it's good you don't mind us nitpicking.
Yes.
We all work together to get a good product at the end.
That's right.
Yes. And then on a somewhat similar note, but a different section, so page 60.
Mhm.
And this would be under the section regarding dedication, acknowledgement, and endorsement. So page 60, section B, where it says know all men by these.
Oh,
And
yes.
I just wanted some clarification if I did not quite understand that section.
It's an old way of doing it.
Right.
And I didn't change any of that.
No, all persons.
Oh, that's why I did that with wording to be updated as needed to reflect current best practices.
Great.
Yeah, I did it a different way in Liberty Lake. This jurisdiction does it a different way, and sometimes you have to update on the fly. So that's why I added that. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like one of the ones I read when I'm doing my history
Mm.
research and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was,
Do you want me to put a little more time into this and try and update them a little more now to get rid of the min and the old language?
I think that's the way it's
I
been
think
done
that's the
for
way we have to
years.
go.
Yeah.
I really do.
So update, okay.
Do it while we've got somebody willing to, someone detail oriented, willing to do
Well,
it.
yeah, you guys have gone through this.
And so I'll look at Liberty Lakes, I'll look at Spokane Valleys, I probably won't look at the county, I'll look at the two closest cities and see what theirs is.
I do appreciate, and I think the rest of us can appreciate all the other changes that you have made that are of similar nature.
And it's so hard, cause I am doing a word search, and so if they're just a little bit different.
Absolutely.
Next.
I'll wait for somebody else. I don't have anything else in the rest of the document.
Yeah, under, page 65, just to reiterate, there is the statement of, no subdivision shall be approved unless the area shall have frontage on and access to an existing street.
I should have updated that, which one is it, 65?
A1,
A1, okay, I did add. Subdivision shall have frontage on and access from an existing street, an existing highway, or a street shown upon a plat approved by the citizens on such street, okay. Oh, I added an exception. The new language on the bottom of A.
Street front requirement is not for individual lot.
And that was consistent with the comp plan and the other sections. It was a copy paste. I can successfully say I have 2 more of your residents lining up for when these code changes are adopted to do a lot split or something like that, because that was a big hurdle for them.
Yeah. Purposely so for
Before, yeah.
for a lot of years.
Anything else,
So
Karina?
I was interested to find out what grubbing meant.
Oh,
The streets needed to be grubbed.
clearing and grubbing.
Yeah.
You want, I can.
Sure,
you
clearing
want
and
to-
grubbing is coming in, taking off vegetation,
Stumps.
stumps, topsoil, getting it down to buildable material.
So you clear it and then the grubbing is getting
The
it.
grubbing is the.
My favorite garden tool is a grub hoe, so it was
Yeah.
interesting to see it used.
It's a pretty common tool in the dirt world. let me put it that way, so.
Just in a big
that was just-
machinery version.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the day, we just got done grubbing a big huge lot on Second and Carnahan for Habitat for Humanity, maybe 2 months ago. I drove by it today.
Second in Carnahan?
Second and Carnahan, yeah, it's right next to the freeway. I think 29 units are going in. I mean, it's right there behind Lowe's.
I used to work at Second in Carnahan.
Oh, did you? Okay. So,
So it'd be
be the.
west of Lowe's, across Carnahan to the west? must be.
It's on the southwest corner of Second and Carnahan.
Okay.
But anyway,
Wow,
what I was gonna
okay.
say is we just grubbed it like 2 months ago, right? I drove by it today and it's all vegetated up again. So,
They let it sit too long.
yeah,
Yeah.
so, but anyway.
Can I actually ask a question of Commissioner Inky? So since you do that kind of work, have you seen any red flags in here that would prohibit some, like a Habitat coming in? Okay, that's the biggest thing, and I'm sending this to Habitat too, they get all these notices and nobody said anything to me. But I'm trying to think through all these different types of infill projects as we're writing this
So,
stuff.
we actually, yeah, you were here, so we had the director of Habitat come and talk, or their CO, their operations officer, who just lives across the river, by the way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Eric Lyons, I believe it was, yeah, he and, I forgot her name, there's 2 people from Habitat that get notices of all of this, and I haven't gotten any comments back that we have an issue, so.
Michelle Dardon.
Yes.
Are we through chapter 16?
I just had a quick question on page 67. So that's procedure and authority for granting. And under that very top section, section A, or other physical conditions characteristic of the land, including the preliminary plat and subdivision was removed. And I know we just went over,
Oh,
Kind of
yeah,
the
again,
definitions.
cause it's picked back up in
Okay.
Title 14.
okay, perfect.
Good work, everybody. Cool. Well, it does not look like we have any public comments. So, cool.
Oh, that's right, it's a special meeting. Just looking for
I know that we don't have a commissioner's comments in here, but I got a couple I'd like to throw out real quick. So I went to coffee with the mayor this morning at 8, at the 8 o'clock session, so she did 2 today. Was kinda nice, cause it was just her and I, so we got to talk a lot about things going on. And one thing that I was unaware of that's coming up And I made the suggestion, but I think it's something that if you talk to people, because we all know that, they know that we're on the commission, they always ask us questions or give us their complaints or whatever. So we all know that this year there's gonna be work on Argonne on the south side of town, right? Okay, then in the next year or two, they're gonna do some more work on Argonne on the north side. Okay, but when those two projects are complete, that's a 30-year plan. And I really think we need to let the residents know that, you know, once this little construction project is done, that's 30 years that Argonne's gonna be open. And you take 30 years of that along with the fact that about the same time that that project ends, the north-south corridor is gonna be open. If you don't believe that, just drive down by there and see it in the air. Millwood traffic is gonna change immensely. And so I was pretty happy to hear that was in her vision. And then it's just some maintenance issues that she's got brought up as far as, you know, chip seals on the streets. And then, of course, you know, the plan is they're looking hard into the water system right now and things like that. And then the only other thing that I brought up to her is, cause I'm getting it all the time, I'm sure you guys probably get questions about it, when the heck are we gonna be doing the park plan? You know, and I know that's on the horizon, okay?
You want me to update you on something?
Yeah, I would like an
Okay.
update. So when will we see the park plan?
So, just today, I attended a webinar about a planning grant that would allow us to complete the last little bits of the master plan, basically nailing down the theme because of the concerns with the train tracks and stuff. And then incorporating in what we're gonna do with the elements from the wading pool, like the fountain incorporation into the splash pad, that kind of stuff. In addition to going all the way down through construction documents, there is a grant available right now with no match. I sent an email off because I'd previously talked to the mayor to say, hey, can I attend this webinar and I'll report back? Yes, so today was the webinar. Send an email off to the mayor and staff today to see, okay, do we want to proceed? If so, let's meet, get this done because applications are due by July. So pending, I assume, I don't foresee any major roadblocks, especially with no match. That if we can win this grant, we will have everything from the last part of the master plan, that little bit of a gap. We already have our pros plan in the comp plan, so that's good. And we'll be able to get all the way through construction documents, and then the next granting cycle for development, we'd be able to apply. And the example they provided today, a community that ranked 29th, it was City of Longview for their park redevelopment, ranked 29th in this planning grant, but got it, did their master plan essentially for them. Then when they applied for development funds, they ranked #1 in the two most competitive grant categories. I believe it was WWRP Local Parks and LWCF, which that is unheard of because they had this process that they did previously. The other bonus is you take this, say the max is $200,000. So say we won $200,000. You take that $200,000 and you can use it, even though it didn't come from the city, you can use it as a match towards the development grants that require a match.
Oh,
So that goes a long way to making that park redevelopment reality. Yeah.
oh,
That's great update.
great.
Yes,
Awesome.
so pending more,
Okay, good.
we'll know in the next few weeks if I'm gonna be authorized to go forward with that. And then we would have the application in by mid-July. Then you go through tech review, and I believe the final, if you win or not, is in the fall. So,
Cool, that's
Yeah.
good.
You said July, so mid-July then?
I believe it was July 15th, so applications open today, and I think they close July 15th. And then it goes through a tech review, which, because this is a site specific, it has an advisory committee, which I used to serve on one of those, so I know that process. They give you back comments on your application on any, this doesn't quite make sense or whatever, can you clarify? Then you reopen the application, you make all these corrections before that second deadline, and then it goes in for evaluation. So,
I was just more concerned about the timing, cause you said July. July is not that far away.
no, it isn't, but the good news is we have most of the heavy lift in the comp plan.
Yeah, okay.
So, cause we specified everything that was needed and we know exactly down to, we need to refine this and nail this down and then go into construction docs.
So are you our grant writer?
Great.
We'll see.
Okay.
I proposed it for this because I've done it before
Okay,
and
cool.
was on the advisory committee.
Just
so.
curious, I mean, I ran
Yeah.
out of grants too, and then I'm not volunteering.
Oh, I was gonna say, really? You did?
I think I just heard the volunteering.
I've got my own grants now, right? So cool.
So, more info to come.
Then the only other thing, if you guys don't know, the city is doing, a pizza party Friday night.
Yes.
I know that, there's been some flyers sent out and stuff like that, but, and Bridget, maybe if you know this, I know that there's several of those pizza parties proposed over the course of the summer.
I believe it may be in the newsletter
Okay.
that Mayor
Yeah,
Peasy sent out.
probably, yeah.
At least one of them did have a few dates to save. It may be on the April one, so I can pull that.
Yeah, I mean, just tossing it out. Unfortunately, I can't attend Friday night because it's night with Cougar Athletics and I have to go write them a check, so, anyway. Anybody else got anything?
Maybe to elaborate on the pizza party kind of thing. It's kind of a neighborhood thing and it's joint between the city and Hutton Settlement. And part of it, I mean, some people may feel uncomfortable coming to get free pizza and who's paying for it and all. Hutton Settlement's doing the pizza. And they do it as part of letting their kids do public service and feel part of a community. And they kind of adopted Millwood as the community that they can be part of. So you come and it's great pizza. You have the pizza and then it is okay to give tips to the kids.
Tips. And
But
okay, so, did I read that they'll have their coffee per purchase? Are they bringing their coffee?
I don't know, I wonder.
I'm sure there's some, but yeah, I mean, you're right though. How I looked at it, what I'll tell you is, in my conversations with the mayor, I really like the fact that, her reaching out to the community to try to get the community to do some community type events has been stellar. One suggestion I made to her, is to, do a state of the city address. Basically, she was asking me what it looks like. So, I mean, Commissioner well, her name works now, does a state of the county address every year down at the convention center. And, you know, Mayor Brown will do a state of the city of Spokane down there. And it's a pretty big gathering. I mean, everybody comes and they get up and they talk about, hey, we're doing the comp plan. I mean, pretty much inform everybody what's going on. And probably not gonna be able to get that done this year, but she was warm to the idea. And, but it's a way to let our citizens know what everybody's vision is, you know, so. And it's a big event. It's not something like, let's come have coffee, but I encourage, you know, if you guys haven't done it yet, the little conversations that we have in those coffee meetings are great. You know, today I think her and I were here 45 minutes, you know, and I mean, it just kinda visionary or kind of find out what's going on or what she sees going forward and stuff like that. To me, it's been a very pleasant and positive experience, especially considering the last administration that the city had. So it's been very, she's very proactive. And by coming to those, it also, what I'm hoping eventually will happen, will come of this, is that we get some really good positive public attendance when we have some of our key issues.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, the last time that and don't get me wrong, I'm loving the hour and a half long meetings, okay? I remember, you know, when we did the Riverview Park project, when Spencer had the room full,
Yeah.
okay? So, and then the only other thing she said is that, considering bringing back, if they can figure out how to do it, our holiday party that we used to have, okay? And you may not have been around with that. Well, that's one thing Spencer ruined for us,
Oh.
FYI.
Oh.
So, I mean, it was him. because of, he made it turn into a public meeting, so, anyway. But, no,
He's gone, so.
he's gone, no, and but I'm, like I said, the interactions that I've had with Mayor Basie have been very, very positive. So,
No, I agree. I think she's done an amazing job just, what, 4 months now, or 5 months into it. I sent her an email saying the same thing, that she's just done a great job, so.
and she's also, mentioned that, she's heard good things about our newest commissioner, our newest commissioner, so. And, so we just wanna reiterate that we're glad you're here. Okay, thank you. And just by the typos you found, I mean, and Bobby, I gotta tell you, I appreciate you. I read these I read a lot of stuff and I read these and I just scan real quick and I'm going, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I don't dive into there should be a comment. And you're right, because it does make it easier to read. So I appreciate the fact that you do that, so. Cool, anyway, that's all I have. Commissioner Crane, anything? Commissioner Beasley?
Mentioning like on the park plan and stuff, and we haven't, got our, theme or whatever. We now have the, Main Street program is starting to get started, so it might be good to bring them in if we get to the point, so that we maybe have more consistent theme kind of thing going on with the town and the park. Especially since the park is part of the central business district officially in our comp plan now.
Jay?
No,
Okay, perfect, cool. Well, with that in mind, we're not doing a staff report tonight, I guess that happens at our next regular scheduled meeting, so our anticipated agenda items is continue on the draft development regulations, looks like, right?
Yep. Next one will be the last two, Title 14 and Chapter 1744. Will come to you on May 27th. And then we will be having the public workshop at your meeting at the end of June.
Is it the June city council meeting that's a joint meeting?
So originally, we had it proposed for July.
Okay.
I was gonna actually talk to you about that at the May meeting, but I'll get feedback now. So I have to meet with council sometime, I'm hoping it'll be the June one. And I think, did we actually decide? It was gonna be 5 o'clock on June, yeah.
5 o'clock is what council decided yesterday.
Yeah, so 5 o'clock on June 9th
June 9th.
is going to be the workshop that I'm having with council on the regulatory and financial incentive portion. I figured it'd be a little bit premature and a little bit too much to put into an hour to discuss that and the overall joint
Okay.
meeting. So first question is, do you feel that a joint meeting would be beneficial for the development regulation portion? We already did it at the beginning. So that's the first question. And the second question is, there's two options we could do. You could invite the city council to your public workshop at the end of June, or we could propose, or actually do the joint meeting that was a tentative in the public participation plan for July. And I had it italicized because I wasn't sure if we were gonna need it.
Okay.
So first question is, do we need the joint meeting? And second question is, how do we wanna do it?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm all for them coming to one of our meetings.
Good luck
We always
with
go to
that.
theirs. I guess, I just where I'm at, okay, so to just clarify, okay, so we've got 2 more chapters to do.
Yeah, a title and a chapter, yeah.
Okay. Do you see us being able to get through that at our May 27th meeting?
Based on how it went tonight, I think so.
Okay.
It's actually small, the two, Title 14 and 1744 together
Mhm.
are pretty close to the size of the subdivision
Okay, perfect.
ordinance, maybe just a little bit.
And we talked a lot about Title 14 tonight, so.
Yeah.
So there shouldn't be, there might be some surprises, but not a whole
Mm-hmm.
bunch, okay. Well, if you're confident that we're gonna get through that and we're able, if the joint meeting is gonna be beneficial, I'm all for it. I would propose that they come to our meeting,
Okay,
but, it's, you know, it's whatever works out best for everybody and gets things done. I mean, your guys' thoughts?
For what it's worth or whatever difference it makes, I probably will not be here for the July meeting.
That's pretty standard. You're usually gone. Yeah. I mean, you go to Europe or
Yeah,
Italy or
yeah.
wherever.
It's been 3 years since I've been to Europe last,
It's been 3 years already. Oh,
Wow,
so
wow.
Okay.
we're gonna do
Okay,
it
well,
one
I'm
more
sorry.
time.
What, didn't you go somewhere last year?
No, actually, last year we stayed home. Year before last, we
Okay.
went, well, like, we went on a Caribbean cruise thing.
Right, okay.
so you're gonna likely be gone for the July planning commission meeting?
Yes,
Okay,
be gone from July 5th through August 4th.
oh, wow, okay.
Gonna
I'd
travel
have to
that
look,
far.
I gotta look at the calendar. You know what, I might be gone for our regularly scheduled.
When is our regular meeting for next month?
For June, the last Wednesday of June,
24th?
the 24th. Well, that actually might affect what I was gonna discuss, on May 27th as well. So if you're gone July 5th to August 4th, you may be gone in July.
I'm looking real quick.
Okay, if the public workshop went smooth and we don't have a bunch of changes or comments that I have to research or anything, I was gonna see if we wanted to up the public hearing from August to July. But if you're not here, if we don't have a full commission, I don't know if you wanna do that or not. We could still do August and still meet our deadlines.
Is it, would our meeting be July 29th or July 22nd?
July 24th. Oh, wait a minute, oh,
It's last Wednesday.
July 29th.
Yeah, last,
Okay, I will be here,
Okay,
but Bobby won't. And,
I'd like to be here for the hearing.
well,
if it's
I was gonna
possible.
say, you know, Bobby's been an integral part of this.
Okay.
She's gotta be at whatever we do.
so we wanna keep the planning commission hearing in August then? Okay, we
Yeah.
may
Not
not,
much involved.
we may not have a need for the July meeting then, depending on what comes out of the public workshop.
Okay.
Yeah, may not, we'll see.
Well, I'm all for that.
Take a July off.
and when is the public workshop? What's the date of that?
June 24th. Yes, June 24th.
Which is our normal planning commission meeting.
Yes. We don't have any other special meetings scheduled after this at this
Right.
time.
So council yesterday had set that workshop for the 9th
Yes, for
Okay.
city council.
for city council.
Planning commission
Okay,
isn't,
just wanted to
not,
clarify.
not together.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we don't have anything else, I move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. Meeting adjourned. Thank you,